I know you want it. I know you need it. Miami breakdown position by position for 2019. Next on the Voice of College Football. All right, everyone, we're talking up the Canes. We got the Wholesome One on the line to break down Miami position by position. If you've missed the previous videos, please check them out. They are worth the watch and the breakdown. You will certainly find that out as you check out the analysis from the Wholesome One, Dwayne Holloway. Wholesome One, how you doing today?
I am doing wonderful, and now it is a great opportunity to not only talk about the front seven like we did last week, but now talk about our skill guys at the University of Miami.
Absolutely. And before we get started, I want to let you know that you can find the Wholesome One at his YouTube channel, HOLSUM. That's HOLSUM, the number one, HOLSUM 1, the Wholesome One here on YouTube. So get your Miami fix there, as well as right here, as Dwayne does a nice job of helping us out in tracking the Canes. People love talking wide receivers. They make the outstanding plays, the freakish plays, the jaw-dropping type plays, and they're the guys that we like to see at the NFL Combine. They're the guys that we like to see. Again, they're probably the guys that bring the most attention to football in terms of just sheer excitement, and to have those kind of guys that can change a game with one play, with one move in the open field, means a world of difference if you want to win championships. And I believe you've got one of those guys in Jeff Thomas. He looked like he was off north to Illinois, but he's back in the fold, and you got to be happy about that.
Of course, ultra excited about what Jeff Thomas can bring to the table. A dynamic wide receiver, man. But someone who, you go back to 2017, you watch film as someone like me, I'm a film obsessor. I love it. You get to see a young man that wants to do everything. He's a complete wide receiver. He's out blocking for his fellow wide receivers. He can do punt and kick return. He can not only run the beautiful deep route that everybody loves, but he can do slants and drags and curls, deep ins, deep outs. The young man can do almost everything to a T that he is able to do at 5'10", 175 pounds. His production at the University of Miami leaves some things to be desired as far as his touchdown over the last 2 years, having 5 career touchdowns, 937 yards, receiving 52 receptions, and he's had a touchdown on kick return, on punt return against Virginia Tech. So he's dynamic, and he's a deep threat that you can't stop. You know, that's one thing about this sport. There's 2 things that you can't coach: size and speed. This young man has speed, but he's unselfish. He's a leader. He's a quiet go-getter. And he might get a bad rep because of what was going on with the previous regime and him maybe wanting to go to Illinois and even, quote-unquote, decommitting from Miami, actually always being someone on scholarship, but going to Illinois and then coming back from Eddie Diaz. He has something to prove. Jeff Thomas has a lot to prove this upcoming season. And I think he might be a one and done. I believe this year he's going to have numbers to the point where he'll go on to the NFL draft. But I'm extremely excited to see him and C.J. Henderson go at it. Week 0, Florida, 2 highly sought after recruits going at it. Top 3 at their position coming out of high school. And now we're going to see them go at it for the very first game of the season. Now the next player is KJ Osborne, transfer from Buffalo, 6 foot, 205 pound redshirt senior. We're so young at this wide receiver position and inexperienced. So the transfer portal, bringing in a guy like KJ Osborne, it was huge bringing him in because he was able to do so much at Buffalo. He has over 1,500 yards of total production at Buffalo. 1,490 receiving, 38 rushing, and a total of 13 touchdowns with 105 touches. He's mature. He's able to really galvanize the troops as the wide receivers in the meeting room. Coach Manny Diaz talked about it all through spring. Staying after practice, forcing other wide receivers to stay after practice and work on the jug machine. Work with all 3 scholarship quarterbacks at that time and getting a connection with all 3 of them. KJ Osborne is our number 2 receiver to Jeff Thomas's number 1, but they're interchangeable, and they have the size and speed ability to play both out wide and in the slot. So those are our 2 most productive wide receivers, bringing in a lot of stats. The next 3 or 4 young men are highly sought after, highly touted 4-star receivers who haven't really had an opportunity to truly showcase what they can do. Mark Pope, 6'1", 180-pound sophomore, thought to be leaving the University of Miami, but stayed and is going to stick it out as a Miami Hurricane. Only has 1 reception for 11 yards and 1 ace jet for 4 yards to his credit at Miami. But he is a huge playmaker. Cam Underwood talks about this play all the time. Throw me the ball. That's what Mark Pope told his offensive coordinator and head coach at Miami South Ridge when they threw a fade route to D. Wiggins, a 6'3" wide receiver we'll get to a little later. And Mark Pope, they threw the game-winning bomb to D. Wiggins, and D. Wiggins didn't get they overthrew him. So Mark Pope said, "Coach, throw me the ball. It's 4th and goal," and they threw the fade route to Mark Pope. Touchdown, Miami South Ridge, and they win a state championship. That's the type of pedigree that you want to bring into University of Miami. It's big-time players that have been on stages like that want the ball and want to be the guy to make the play to win. Mark Pope, to me, is the young man who will be our starting slot come Florida game week 0. It'll be KJ Osborne, Jeff Thomas, and Mark Pope. Mike Harley, 5'9", 160-pound junior, 30 receptions for 331 yards, yet to score a touchdown as a Miami Hurricane. But Mike Harley was from St. Thomas Aquinas down here in South Florida. Harley sat after a speedster, and I think Dan Enos' offense will really open up things for Mike Harley. And we're going to really have to get his hands together. He had a couple drops this past year, 6 total drops, actually, which was 3rd on the team. Cager with 12 was number 1. And he's no longer a Miami Hurricane. But Mike Harley has a lot to bring to the table as a route runner, as a hard worker. Yet again, the main thing all of our guys was able to do was speed and run blocking. Whenever someone had the ball, all of our wide receivers was clamped on and drive. Now, you want to talk about size? I got 3 nice, tall wide receivers for you. Evidence Njoku is 6'6", 196-pound redshirt sophomore. And yes, the last name sounds familiar. That is David Njoku, first-round tight end for the University of Miami for the Cleveland Browns' little brother. Most likely our red zone threat. Only 1 reception to date so far for Evidence Njoku, but he had a lot of injury-riddled career so far. D. Wiggins, 6'3", 195 pounds, 7 receptions for 73 yards. So he actually has a little bit of production here at the University of Miami, and he will be a speedster to watch out for moving into the 2020s. Brian Hightower, 6'3", 210 pounds, sophomore. 4 receptions, 60 yards, 4 touchdowns. And that touchdown was against LSU in our last touchdown early in the 4th quarter. Threw a fade up to him, and he bombed one of LSU's DBU's corners. And Jeremiah Payton, one of the spring warriors coming out of this past spring, a 17-year-old young man moved into the program as an early enrollee and was making lots and lots of plays and turned a lot of heads to him being able to contribute to the Miami Hurricanes, barring any injuries this upcoming season. At 6'1", 190-pound freshman, we are excited about this wide receiver group, young, inexperienced, but talented at the U.
Wholesome one. You reference Cam Underwood's analysis, and he has made the statement a few times that Miami had bottom 5, and this is in the FBS, not just Power 5, bottom 5 quarterback play. And I think he's pointing to statistical analysis when he says that. Maybe he's saying that from an objective or subjective standpoint as well. And to me, correct me if I'm wrong, the wide receiver position is more dependent on other positions than any position on the field. The other positions act independently to a certain extent. The running backs need the offensive line. The linebackers need the defensive line to clean up blocks so that they can roam and make tackles. Yes, they're all dependent on somebody else, but the wide receivers are completely dependent on the quarterback, who is dependent to a certain extent on the offensive line. So those work hand in hand, and they're about the third extension of that link at wide receiver. So if you don't have the play at quarterback and don't have the ball delivered, then you're not obviously going to be effective. That is the only way in which you can be effective at catching the football and making plays. So who knows what this Miami wide receiver and by extension tight end unit is capable of doing with decent quarterback play.
Exactly. And you know, Cam being the GOAT, the greatest of all time, he does break it down on a whole nother level. And that's the big part of offense. It works all together. Obviously, if the center can't get the ball to the quarterback properly, the play never even starts. Or if it starts, it's catastrophic from Jump Street. And yes, wide receiver is the most dependent, as you just illustrated, the most dependent position, because you got to get the pass block, got to get the snap off, got to get the pass block, got to get the drop from the quarterback, and the ball has to be placed somewhat in the vicinity of the wide receiver for them to make a play on it, a la Jeff Thomas with his acrobatic catches and things of that nature. And like I said, there's so much talent here that I believe the reason why Jeff Thomas was able to come back, the reason why we were able to hold on to Mark Pope, the reason why we were able to hold on to Mike Harley, these guys with rumors of transfers heading out after this past 2018 season, it's because I believe Coach Manny Diaz was able to illustrate to them, I'm focusing on bringing in a great offensive coordinator to showcase you all's talent. Whether that be as short passes, because we've got a lot of quick and fast guys with quick slants and ace jets and triple options and things of that nature, getting these guys in open field. And it will be much better than what you had to go through with the 1980s offense that Mark Richt wanted to bring to the table. So it's a lot of talent, a lot of guys that want to go out here and make big-time plays for the University of Miami. And I liken this to the 2013 wide receiver core that was young, hadn't really played as much together, and then went on to help lead a 9-4 team all the way up into the 7th overall team in the nation, come up to Week 8 versus Florida State.